Is it a function? Unit 6, formative 1. Is it a function? If you remember our mapping from the last video, with -1 going to 6, -3 going to 7, and -4 going to 3, this is a function because it works. What it means is for all your x values, okay, is there exactly one y value that matches it? Okay, so for example, -1 goes to 6. If you hit -1, you know you're going to get a 6. Okay, there's not another option. You're not going to get a -1 and maybe a 4. Okay, if you have a -3, you know you're going to get 7. Okay, and then -4, you're going to get 3. So you know it works. So this is a function. Okay? Think of it as like a pop machine. Okay, if you go to the pop machine, you pick the Pepsi button, you're going to get a Pepsi. Okay? If you hit the Mountain Dew button, you're going to get a Mountain Dew. If you hit the Dr. Pepper button, you're going to get a Dr. Pepper. Okay? So this is a function. It works. You know what you're getting. Okay? Unlike, well, what if you hit the Pepsi machine and you might get a Pepsi one time and then you might get a water the next time. Okay? So if you hit the Pepsi button, you don't know if you're going to get a Pepsi or if you're going to get a water. Okay? So that doesn't work. Okay? You have to know what you're going to get. Okay? So this is not a function. Okay? Because when you hit the Pepsi button, you're not sure if you're going to get a Pepsi or a water. It doesn't work. Alright, let's say we get rid of these. Okay? And let's say we hit the Pepsi button and we get a Mountain Dew. Okay? Let's say we hit the Mountain Dew button and we get a Mountain Dew. We hit the Dr. Pepper button and we get a Mountain Dew. Okay? This is a function. Even though you're not getting what you want, you know what you're getting. Every time you hit the Pepsi button, you're going to get a Mountain Dew. It's not a Mountain Dew or a water. Okay? It's definitely a Mountain Dew every time you hit the Pepsi button. Now, if you hit the Mountain Dew button, you're also going to get a Mountain Dew. And if you hit the Dr. Pepper button, you're going to get a Mountain Dew. Okay? This is a function because if you hit the Mountain Dew button, you know what you're getting. Okay? There's only one option every time you hit the Pepsi button, one option when you hit the Mountain Dew, one option when you hit the Dr. Pepper button. Okay? So this is a function. Okay. All right, let's see what it looks like with a mapping, what we did on the last video. On a mapping, remember we have our x values and our y values. Okay? Here we have 3. If we have a 3, do we know what we're getting? Okay, we're either getting a 1 or a 2. Okay? So when we hit the 3, or we hit the the Pepsi button in this case, we don't know if we're going to get a 1 or a 2. Okay? So this is not a function. Okay? Now it does not matter that the 4 has just one 3. What matters is the 3 has 2 values. So this is not a function because the 3 maps to more than one value. Okay, all right, let's look at another one. Okay, here we have our x and our y values. Now when you have -1, it maps to a 3. So if you have a -1, you know you're going to get a 3. There's no other options here. 0 is also going to get a 3, and 4 is going to get a 3. Okay? So all we care about here is the x values. Are all the x values only going to one number? Okay, so -1 is only going to a 3, 0 is only going to a 3, and 4 is only going to a 3. So this is, yes, this is a function. Oops. Erase that. Okay, because the x values are only used one time. All right. Remember, we don't care about the y values. We don't care that the 3 is used 3 times. All we care about is the x values. Okay, the x value can only be used one time, so it can only have one arrow going from it in a mapping. All right, let's look at another one. All right, let's look at this one. So x values are 3. 3 goes to a 0. Does 3 go anywhere else? No, it doesn't, so that's good. 6 goes to a -2. It does not go to any other value, so that's good. -1 goes to 4 and only 4. Okay, so all the x values only go to one y value. So this is a function. And it is a function because the x value is only used one time. All right, let's try another. Okay, points. Okay, now we just got through with mapping. Points are the same way. We are going to concentrate only on the x values, the 1, okay, -2, -3, right? Are there any repeats in the x value? Okay. There's no repeats in the x value, so yes, it is a function. Okay, x values only used once. Let's look at another one with points. Okay, so here we have another set of points. Okay, so again, we only care about your x values. -1, -2, -4. Okay, are all the x value used one time? Okay, yes. Now, if you notice, the y values are all 3s, but that doesn't matter. All we care about are the x values. So yes, it is a function. Right. Next one, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the x values. We have -1 and 2 and a -1 again. Okay. So -1 is used twice. So this is not a function. Okay, and it's not a function because x value is used more than once. Right, so that's what a function looks like when you have a group of ordered pairs. So we've done the mapping, and then we've done a group of ordered pairs. And remember, x cannot repeat. We don't care about y. So let's look at what's going to happen when we have a graph. This is called a vertical line test. Okay, anytime you have a graph, if a vertical line passes through 2 or more points, it is not a function. This is, be careful, this is also the VLT for vertical line test. We're going to shorten that up. Let's look at this. All right, so I have a set of points here. And what you want to do is you want to draw a vertical line. Okay, if the vertical line goes through one point, then it's a function. If a vertical line goes through more than one point, then it is not a function. All right, so right here. Oops, that's a long, thick line. Hang on a second. All right, let's try that again. So here we have a vertical line test. Okay, that vertical line went through one point. That vertical line went through one point. That vertical line went through one point. And that vertical line went through one point. So this is a function. Okay, and it is a function because of the vertical line test. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Same thing, vertical line test. So we're going to draw vertical lines, okay, and make sure they only go through one point. Here, this one went through a point here. It's through a point, through one point, through one point. So every vertical line went through the line one time. So this is yes. It is a function. And it's a function because of the vertical line test, VLT. All right, let's try this one. We have another graph. This isn't a straight line, but you still do a vertical line test. We're going to draw a vertical line, okay? And look at the first vertical line. it went through the graph at 2 points. So we didn't even need the other line. Okay, since the vertical line went through the graph 2 times, no, this is not a function. Okay, and is not a function because of the vertical line test, or VLT. All right, let's look at this one. We have some dots here. Same thing. We're going to draw some vertical lines. Okay, vertical line. Oops. Okay, let's try that vertical line again. Vertical line. Okay, went through 1 point. Went through 1 point. It went through 2 points, right there and right there. So this is not a function. And that is because of the vertical line test. All right. Let's look at another one. Here's another line. So we're going to draw some vertical lines on this one. Okay. All the way through. Okay, and we got let's meet there, they meet there, there, and there. Does any vertical line go through our curvy line more than one time? No, every time it's just at 1 point. So yes, it is a function. Okay, and it's a function because of the vertical line test. All right, so graphs. We are going to do a vertical line test, and the vertical line test cannot pass through more than 1 point. Great job, and I'll see you guys in class.